Because he's so important.
All right. Good evening, everybody out there.
In TV land.
In TV land.
In TV land.
Our little church family. We're back to the parables.
Still.
We're gonna exit chapter 13 of Matthew tonight.
No offense, Lord, but hallelujah.
So where are we at? We are at the parable of the net, right?
Mm-hmm. Mine says a dragnet, but yeah.
Okay. Well, read yours.
Alrighty. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a dragnet cast into the sea and gathering fish of every kind. And when it was filled, they drew it up on the beach. And they sat down and gathered the good fish into containers, but the bad they threw away. So it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come forth and take out the wicked from among the righteous, and will throw them into the furnace of fire. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Have you understood all these things? They said to him, Yes. And Jesus said to them, Therefore every scribe who has become a disciple of the kingdom of heaven is like a head of a household, who brings out of his treasure things new and old.
I don't understand.
What?
You don't understand? What don't you understand?
Well, obviously, the parable is talking about Judgment Day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of age, where everybody gets separated out, the sheep from the goats, the righteous from the unrighteous, and the angels throws the evil, unrighteous, unrepentant sinners into the lake of fire and brimstone.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes into, therefore every scribe who has been trained for the kingdom of heaven is like a master of a house, who brings out of his treasure what is new and what is old. I don't throw away my treasures, new or old.
Does that make you a hoarder?
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say.
yeah, I am a hoarder.
I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole.
But, so I don't understand. I don't understand this part of the parable.
Yeah.
Because obviously the treasure is the kingdom. And like the master of a house, he'd bring out the good treasure, the new treasure, and the old treasure.
Does that go back to the farmer or whatever who gave this to those guys and they were supposed to take
Oh, that
care
was
of
the
that?
master of the house. Yeah,
Don't feel bad because the people he was talking to didn't know what he was talking about, and even the disciples didn't even know what he was talking
Yeah, no. This one's really confusing to me. I get the first part of the parable, the net.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. You catch a bunch of fish. Some of them are too big. Some are too little. Some are not the right kind. You throw back what you don't want. I get that part. I don't get this treasure part. The master of the house who brings out of his treasure what is new and what is old.
And what is the treasure? Is it the seed that you planted and the people that have?
From what, if you look at this as a whole, it's the kingdom of heaven.
Well, then he added that because he asked them if they understood the first part, and yes, they said yes, we do. Then he added
This part.
every teacher of religious law who becomes a disciple in the kingdom of heaven is like a homeowner who brings from his storeroom new gems of truth as well as old.
So I assume that would be pertaining to the teachings. Like the teachings of the New Testament and the teachings of the Old Testament.
But there's no context for that here.
Maybe he's referring to, well, he's talking about the teachers of religious law.
Yeah, I get that, but the context of this parable is separating out the righteous from the unrighteous. He's thrown away basically the unrighteous into the fiery furnace.
Okay, let me read my note in this Bible. Anyone who understands God's real purpose in the law as revealed in the Old Testament has a real treasure. The Old Testament points the way to Jesus, the Messiah. Jesus always upheld its authority and relevance, but there is a double benefit for those who understand Jesus' teaching about the kingdom of heaven. This was a new treasure that Jesus was revealing. Both the old and new teaching give practical guidelines for faith and for
Okay.
living in the world.
Yeah, my footnote said that makes sense. So he's not comparing. We're not referring back to the parable. We're referring to this being a new teaching that fits in with that's to be kept along with the old teachings of the Old Testament. He doesn't make that clear. He does not make that clear. Matthew, I guess, when he wrote this, did not make that clear.
He was right shorthand.
That this part didn't refer back to the parable, other than this is a new teaching
Added with the others.
added with the other teachings you already know. That's the treasure of the master's house. That makes sense. Because otherwise, you look through the stuff and you're like, this is kind of.
Well, is it possible that during the translation somebody left something out?
That's always possible.
It's very possible. Since we really don't even know who wrote these books. I mean, I know we call it Matthew, but it's the gospel according to Matthew. Joe Blow could have wrote it listening to Matthew talk.
Right.
Well, I mean, if there's so many discrepancies that people have gone through and decided, oh, well, this don't need to be in there.
Oh yeah,
That don't need to be in
Yeah.
there. Maybe they left something out
it's
intentionally.
very possible that something, or it just got. A lot of times when scribes were rewriting everything, because everything was written down, passed around. If you missed a couple of lines, it got lost.
Fell asleep.
Well, yeah, you pick up and start writing again. It gets lost until you find one of the older manuscripts and realize, hey, this was in there. Then it got dropped somehow. And that has actually happened a lot. People don't realize it. Okay. So that's the end of the parables of Matthew 13. Can we all clap, clap, clap?
Yay.
Now, I will tell you, because I went back, because I have a list of the 38 parables of the Jesus. There are 3 we didn't do in Matthew,
Okay.
which I don't really consider the parables.
Okay.
But it's the new cloth and the new wineskins, the lamp on the stand, and the wise and the foolish builders. They don't read like parables.
When I was thinking when we started this, you said there were 3
Yeah.
before these, but we wasn't going to cover them
Yeah.
because they wasn't really.
I don't. Some people don't consider the parables. Some people do. Let me just give you an example. One of them's in the middle of the Sermon on the Mount. Where is it? Matthew 4:5. I mean, it's one we probably all know by heart. You are the light of the world. A city set on the hill cannot be hidden. He's teaching in the sermon. So I don't consider these parables per se.
I guess it depends on how you define parable.
Well, true. But usually a parable is a metaphor. He's using a story to relate a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was reading up on it,
Yeah.
and it said that it's prophesied in the Old Testament that he'd start teaching in parables, and it said that when he started, that the Jewish people, some of them had already started to reject him, so he done it on purpose so they wouldn't understand it.
Right.
And then even the disciples didn't understand it, so they asked him in private.
Yeah. Can you explain what you're talking about?
When he explained it to them. He didn't explain it to the Jewish people.
Right. That's very true. Yeah. He did this on purpose. It was to confound the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the other Jews. So the build your house on the rock. Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on a rock. I don't know. These don't feel like parables to me.
Okay.
So
It's kind of straightforward.
yeah, they're kind of straightforward. That's why a lot of people don't include them. But just so you know, there are 3 that some people consider parables. So now, where do we go? Where do we go?
I
Anybody
don't
know?
know. You got the
Walmart.
list.
And talking about, the verse about who's first to be last and who's last to be first. That,
Yeah.
the Jewish people used to be first, but they're going to be last now. And the Gentiles were last, but the Gentiles will be first now.
Yep.
Yep.
That is true.
Boy, you tell Scott hadn't been here in a while. He's making up for missing out being able to talk.
He been studying.
So my list takes us next to Matthew 18.
Matthew 18.
23. No, 12. I'm sorry. Matthew 18:12. That's the next parable on my list.
Yeah.
Great year.
And I guess that's why I don't consider it parable, because on my list of the parables like the parable of the lost sheep. So apparently my MacArthur Study Bible doesn't include the first three either as parables.
Yeah, well, John Farms, you never
You never know. All right, so you want to read 12 through 14?
Yeah, I'll read it. What do you think? If any man has. Wait, yeah. Sorry. Start over. What do you think? If any man has 100 sheep and one of them has gone astray, does he not leave the 99 on the mountains and go and search for the one that is strayed? If it turns out that he finds it, truly I say to you, he rejoices over it more than over the 99 which have not gone astray. So it is not the will of your Father who is in heaven that one of these little ones perish.
It's talking about the little children. Don't do any harm to little children. There's no pedophiles. Do not get any respect. Child molesters,
Traffickers.
traffickers. Yeah, I mean, you're
Sorry.
Jeffrey Epstein. We don't care about you.
Yes. Oh, let me change the subject just a little.
Okay.
Y'all remember when you were saying that, it was about this.
Yeah.
Y'all remember Paul Harvey?
Mhm.
If you look up on YouTube, Paul Harvey, If I Were the Devil, have you ever heard that story?
Yes.
It lasts for 3 minutes. If you listen to it, everything.
I've watched
It
that.
happened in 1969,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that was in that, he said that in 1969, it's all happening
Happen
now.
now. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen it. It gave me chills.
Yeah,
Go
every
look
time I
up
seen
Paul
it.
Harvey's "If I Were the Devil."
It don't last for 3 minutes is all.
Mm-hmm.
I like Paul. You know, he was interesting.
All right, you know the rest.
That was a little side note. So let's talk about this parable. This parable really does bother a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
because why?
Personally,
Yeah.
what I believe,
Uh-huh.
there's two sides to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the one, you don't feel like you're worthy enough to be sought after.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the 99, you feel like that one isn't
more
worthy
important.
enough to be sought after.
Interesting.
But now you were saying these were not for the Sadducees and the scribes, but these are parables that every day, like this is about lost sheep. This is something a shepherd would
This is
understand.
what these parables are designed for: the everyday man and woman that were living their lives.
That were in these
Yeah.
similar situations.
You can relate to the story that's
They
being
can
told the way
relate.
it's being
That's why
told.
parables are so great, because they are relatable.
Mhm.
Now, kind of what you were saying, the way I see it is the 99 would be jealous, just like
Yes.
the son.
The prodigal,
prodigal
This is
son,
the
the
prodigal
brother that
son
stayed.
version,
Mhm.
basically
Yeah.
using sheep. Yes, because the shepherd goes out to save the one.
Well, we didn't leave. He left.
You should stay here and protect us.
Exactly. Now, what's the problem with that attitude?
The
Right.
problem with you is you're being selfish. You're being inconsiderate. You're being
One of
thoughtless.
the deadly sins.
You're being uncompassionate.
Mhm.
I mean, because that one may get into some serious trouble, and that shepherd's the only one that can save. Y'all ain't going to help.
Right.
Y'all just more dumb sheep.
Can't we go with you and help you find him? And that's what
No.
we probably should have got.
No, because then
Then you got 100 lost sheep.
yeah, then you
that
got
the shepherd has to go find. Yeah.
you got to keep up with that 99 as you're trying to find that one.
There are a lot of people that do have a problem with this idea of going after the one. Because, you know, well, they chose to leave. They wandered off on their own. They got what they deserve. The problem is none of this is a Jesus attitude.
Right.
It's a human attitude.
Well, how do you know that something didn't lead it astray or it just
You
got
don't.
Well,
sidetracked?
it does. It's no different than going and looking at a homeless person on the street, and people do it. Well, I ain't giving him no money. He could go get a job.
My thing is, I'm not giving him no money. What if he goes buy drugs with it? What if he does?
What if he
You
does?
don't know
That's
why
another
he's
one.
in the situation
Oh.
he's in. Drug and alcohol probably
You
ain't got
know,
nothing to do with
we
it.
help a lot of people with their Christmas miracle fund, and people are like, well, but if they weren't drug addicts, they'd have money for their kids. And
It's not the kid's
it's
fault.
not kids' fault. It's is that their fault? Yes, but is anyone helping them overcome their drug habit? Do they have anybody around them that would even care? You need a support group to overcome those problems.
I mean, I believe firmly that everybody needs to be held accountable for their actions, but there are some people out there that don't know how
Yes.
to hold themselves accountable, and they've got to be taught.
And they're not capable. I mean, we worked with the group home that was over here. And some of them, their mental, emotional capabilities do not allow them
Mm-hmm.
to live on their own. And when they do, they're homeless or they're addicted to something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
So we should just ignore those people and be like, oh, they're not worth it.
talking about the homeless,
Yeah.
how many of them are veterans?
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
And why do people
PTSD can
why do
do a number
people
of-
think that they are homeless?
Because they're bums.
No.
I use that word.
No, it's not because they're bums. My daddy was a Vietnam vet.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Marine.
Yeah.
And he has put it in words that I had always tried to figure out.
Yeah.
But he said nobody will understand how you take a human and make them an animal.
Yeah.
And then bring them back over here and expect them to go back to human.
Yep.
Well, and it's even the same thing for ex-inmates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in a jungle, and then you're thrown back out to
And
No,
expect,
why?
expect
Here,
them to
have fun.
Two different worlds.
expect them
Yes.
to know how to do things. Yeah. The point is, Jesus goes after the one, and we are not supposed to be jealous of it
No.
Mm-mm.
or
We
feel.
should rejoice.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. We should
Right.
not feel like we're being slighted in any way,
Yeah.
Or that one is more
or
important.
that one's more important. It's not. Just because it's the one doesn't make it number one. And I think that's where a lot of Christians get hung up because we think, well, that one's
Jesus is putting them above.
that one's the favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that one's the one that's lost.
That one's
that
the
one's
worst
the one
of
that
the group.
needs.
Is that one because it doesn't know how to find its way.
That's the one that needs the help.
And Jesus looks at him with compassion and says, "I'm going to go help them find their way." That's the attitude we're supposed to have, to help people find their way when they get lost.
Wait till the verse says, I bring the sheep to my father, and it's his will that I not lose any of them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we have an attitude problem often with this parable because we do let these sinful attitudes creep in, and we don't like it when Jesus goes after that one. We are judgmental Christians many times. Often. We have to train ourselves not to be that way. So,
I agree with the judgmental part, but I also think that it's also comparings. We always want to compare ourselves. What makes that person
yeah,
more special than me? But what we've got to realize is we all are running a different race.
yes.
So what their walk with Christ isn't going to look like my walk with Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to learn. We need to learn to appreciate what Jesus
Okay.
is doing for us.
I totally agree. The problem is our society teaches us
Mhm.
to compare ourselves with everybody else.
Oh yeah.
That's a world view, a worldly view. We have to quit. Don't compare yourself with anybody but God. He's the one to compare to. How am I matching up to God? Not to Caleb, because I'll never have some of Caleb's talents. I'm never going to look like Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise or any of these guys, you know, the heartthrobs.
Mhm.
If I compared myself to them, yeah, you get jealous. You start feeling unworthy. These are all the things, tools of the devil that he uses to lead you astray and become a lost sheep. So we need to nip that in the bud. No more comparison. Their house is bigger than mine. I don't care. They're driving the fancier car. I don't care.
They got more bills than me.
Yeah,
I don't care.
they can have this.
Yeah.
You know, it's when we compare, we try to keep up with everybody else.
Keep it up with the Joneses.
Keeping up
Keep
with the
up
Joneses.
and that creates problems. So look what he says. I say to you, he rejoices over it, the lost sheep he finds, more than over the 99 that never went astray. Now, again, this creates jealousy. It sounds like that's his favorite.
He's just happy. That's all he's just happy that he was able to bring it back.
Well, they found the one and can bring
Yeah.
it
He
back.
found one and brought it back. He didn't lose it.
Yeah.
So is not the will of my Father. So is it not the will of my Father who's in heaven that one of these little ones should perish?
What I guess what the 99 is not understanding is that if you were that one, he would leave the other 99 and come find
Exactly.
you too. That's his job.
That would
Well, I think what they fail to realize, at some point they were the one.
right. They were the
Yeah.
one that
They
said
were the one.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
even-
Jesus started at one. I have one sheep, and
Even-
now I have two, and he is rejoiced over.
But
every
even
single
if they
one
were
of
lost again, he
Mhm.
would leave the
He would
rest
leave.
of them.
them. Mm-hmm.
that
to come
should,
get
that should give us all
He
assurance that no matter what happens,
Mhm.
if we do fall away
Mm-hmm.
or get led astray, he's coming after us. We won't be lost forever.
You think the 99 would rejoice too.
Exactly.
You would,
Okay.
but we're human, and Satan wants us to be jealous.
Be gone with Satan.
You know, we
And
study
prideful.
those spirits.
Yeah.
You know, they're powerful. They're all around us,
You sure are.
and they're constantly attacking. They see it opening,
They
zoom.
take it.
It's
They was
like
at Walmart yesterday.
I saw your post.
I was like, oh.
So you know, that's why we have to be careful. We have to be diligent
Mm-hmm.
and not, and we, like Scott says, we should be rejoicing
Mhm.
and quit condemning these people because they get led astray or they wander off. Usually, sheep wander off.
They get distracted.
They get distracted. Oh, that looks like a nice piece of leaf over there.
Yeah.
Let me run across the road. When you run across the road, you're going to hit by a car going 70 miles an hour.
Mhm.
So, you know, there's danger. Jesus is out there trying to grab you before you go into the danger spot.
Get lost.
Yeah. So, this is a good parable, and it's a hard one for people. I know that.
They have to get over themselves.
They have to get over themselves, and they don't often do it.
Yes, do not covet thy neighbor's goods.
Be happy
Right.
for
That's one of the
everybody.
10 Commandments, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The old and the new.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move on. We got a few minutes. Let's go to verse 21.
21.
Verse 21 of 18.
Okay.
Just verse 21?
21 through, 35.
Yeah, you can read.
Okay. Then Peter came up and said to him, Lord, how often will my brother sin against me and I forgive him? As many times as 7. Jesus said to him, I do not say to you 7 times, but 77 times. Therefore, the kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who wished to settle accounts with his servants. When he began to settle, one was brought to him who owed him 10,000 talents. And since he could not pay, his master ordered him to be sold, with his wife and children and all that he had, and payment to be made. So the servant fell on his knees, imploring him, excuse me, have patience with me, and I will pay you everything. And out of pity for him, the master of that servant released him and forgave him the debt. But when that same servant went out, he found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii. And seizing him, he began to choke him, saying, "Pay what you owe." So his fellow servant fell down and pleaded with him, "Have patience with me, and I will repay you." He refused, and went and put him in prison until he should pay the debt. When his fellow servants saw what had taken place, they were greatly distressed, and they went and reported to their master all that had taken place. Then his master summoned him and said to him, "You wicked servant, I forgave you all that debt because you pleaded with me. Then should you not have had mercy on your fellow servant, as I had mercy on you?" And in anger his master delivered him to the jailers until he should pay all of his debt. So also my heavenly Father will do to every one of you if you do not forgive your brother from your heart. Pretty straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't hold a grudge.
Don't hold a grudge. Is that really what he's saying?
If you're
No,
forgiving somebody,
he's saying that he forgave us of everything we've done, and we should be just as forgiven as he is,
right?
regardless of what it is.
He quickly forgave us of everything we ever done, will do. We should be quick to forgive everybody who sins against us. Now, how often does that happen?
Not very.
What?
Not very.
Why not?
Because we get our feelings hurt.
Well, we get offended. We do live in the age of being offended.
Yes.
Scott, are you a snowflake? Snowflake? Scott, are you a snowflake? Come on.
No,
You know what a snowflake is, don't you?
not really.
Someone who gets their feelings hurt
A crybaby.
Oh no.
and then starts, "I gotta have my way. I need a safe place." They have them at they have them at QT, by the way. You pull right into the parking spot. It says safe place.
Safe place, really.
But I don't think it's for that. I think it's for.
It's a safe place.
Well, yes, but
I know
think,
what it's for.
Okay.
It's
I
actually
don't think it's for what
It's
you're
for people
talking
who
about.
think they're being followed or harassed or in danger.
That
Yeah.
help thing, whatever you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
But-
you know that.
You know, Jesus has no time for snowflakes.
No.
That's what he's saying. Because if you feel offended, forgive.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been forgiven by God, I don't care how many times they offend you. They can sit there and call you ugly, stupid, whatever they want to. And you forgive them. And don't hold a grudge.
Right.
That is part of it, but you got to forgive first and don't hold a grudge. It's something we do need to learn because there's a lot of people that call themselves Christians that love to not forgive.
Mm-hmm.
They will justify why they shouldn't have to forgive. You don't and I heard this film. You don't understand what they did to me. I don't care.
Look what we did to God. He forgave us.
You don't understand how bad. I don't care.
Mhm.
It's not a question of how bad it was, how much torment they put you through, how much pain you felt. Because whatever pain you feel is a fraction of the pain God felt before He forgave you.
And then just think about what Jesus went through.
Yeah.
Your pain is but.
Your pain is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. You cannot call yourself a Christian and act this way and hold these grudges and refuse to forgive people. Just can't do it. We want to do it. We will reason why we should do it.
Do you have to still like them?
Technically, we're supposed to love everybody.
You know, I get asked that question a lot. I get asked the question, well, does that mean I have to associate with them?
No,
Not necessarily. You don't have to invite them over to your house for a potluck.
I mean there's nothing wrong with creating a boundary, and if a person has crossed the line, then you forgive them, and then you just let them know
Well, isn't that what
it's a boundary.
what God had told the disciples when they were going to these different regions?
Just
That if, they don't listen to you, then wipe the dust off of your feet and walk on.
Yes, but that's different from someone sinning against you and not forgiving.
well,
Yeah.
No,
still want
no,
to
I'm not.
forgive
I'm
them.
not talking about not forgiving them. I'm talking about if they've done something to you. Yes, forgive them and let it go. But do you? Wouldn't that kind of be if they're not going to take responsibility for their part?
Yes, yeah, I see.
Wouldn't that
Yeah,
kinda be-
if they're like, well, you know, I did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like what Jesus told the
Just
disciples:
dust your feet.
dust your feet off and move on.
Yes.
Now, if they apologize and are sincere,
Mhm.
should you put up those boundaries?
I mean, no, you should give. Everybody gets a second chance. Right?
You know, you probably shouldn't put up those boundaries at that point because they understand they made a mistake.
Right.
So you know that's one
And
of
the
those
ones
things.
that really are sincere about apologizing, they will. You'll
You'll
know
You'll know,
Mhm.
yeah.
because they won't.
And if
repeat.
they do it again, you forgive them, and then you realize, okay, we're gonna dust our feet off with these people
Mhm.
and go on our happy way. But Jesus says, you know, they do this over and over and over again. You forgive them,
Mhm.
or else you're gonna get thrown in the jail and have to repay the debt. Just like
Sure.
the very ungrateful servant, because he was completely forgiven all of his debt, and then he demanded payment from everybody else.
He wasn't going to be as forgiving.
You know, it's like, wait a minute, you owe me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you trying to get this little bit of money out of him? You know, that's wrong in so many levels.
Yes, you owed me a lot more than this one owed you,
Yeah.
and I was okay with your.
Yeah, I wiped out your debt because
Yeah.
you pleaded with me.
But then you're gonna act this way.
You're gonna act. You're gonna. You know,
Show the same forgiveness.
show the same forgiveness. That's where we struggle because I don't think we understand the power of God forgiveness. Or else we don't really believe in it. Maybe we don't believe it. Maybe that's why we act the way we do.
Sometimes I think it's like you said, we don't understand it because it's hard to believe that he would forgive some of the things we have done.
It is. But the fact that you recognize it's hard to understand he would forgive that should make us so grateful that he did it
Right.
that we don't care what other people do to us or say about us.
Whether we believe it or not, he
Right.
says, yes, I have forgiven.
You know, because you know what you've done.
Mhm.
You know who you were before. But the problem is we go back to comparisons. And I know this is true because I've had people tell me, well, I've never done drugs.
So
I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, you don't understand. He stole from me. I don't care. You have your own sin that you did that was just as offensive to God as what you're claiming this person did to you.
So that's like me when I look at sins. Everybody looks at it from ground level, and it spikes.
Yeah.
God looking straight down on it, it's just a straight line. They're all
Yeah,
even.
it's a straight line. Sin, black.
Yeah.
You got this black line marked through you.
There is no degree to sins. A sin
Well,
is
I
a
don't
sin.
get where people even came up with that idea because I know several people that think, well, my sin's not as bad as theirs.
Justification.
Justification.
I only stole a pack of gum. That dude killed
Yeah, I
that
only
dog,
stole
you know?
those flowers when I was a little kid. It is justification. We justify.
I didn't hurt nobody.
And part of it, we do it because we want to feel better
Mm-hmm.
than other people. Because that's arrogance. Sinful. So if you're doing this, you are still being sinful that you need to ask God to forgive you of that sin and help you remove it. Because, yeah, the mass murderer is no different from me in the eyes of God. He can be forgiven if he wants it, if he repents. I've never done anything like that. Isn't he so much worse than I am?
Wait a
If
minute.
you've ever gotten angry,
You have
you
murdered
have
somebody.
murdered someone.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Didn't he say if you thought it, you've done it?
He did.
Mhm.
If you get angry at people, even in your head, you have already committed murder. So you are a murderer. See that's I think what Jesus was trying to get to at that point was don't compare your sins to somebody else's. Because I will show you how you've already done the same things in different ways.
Yeah, because I don't think people understand that our emotions alter our spirit.
Yes.
And even though you may not have physically killed somebody, you've thought it already, so you've done it, and you are darkening.
Guilty.
You're guilty, but you're darkening your spirit.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the more dark it gets, the further away from God you get.
Yes.
Can you just do bodily harm and not kill him?
No.
That's still anger. I would hope. That's
You
still
cannot
anger.
just lay hands on
I hope you don't want to just hit somebody for
But
no
they want to
reason.
be healed.
We cannot Benny Hinn people.
We cannot be in people. Okay, so this is a good parable for us all to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know people that just cannot forgive someone. I've counseled people that cannot forgive someone. I've counseled people that cannot forgive people that have passed on. Well, it just feels like I'm disrespecting them. Because that means that they did something wrong. They did do something wrong to you. You know they did. You feel it. You talk about it.
So forgive them and be done with it.
Forgive them and be done with it. When we don't forgive, you've got to remember we harden our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be in the same boat the Pharaohs were in Egypt. He drowned because he would not listen to God.
And he had plenty of warning.
And he had you've got plenty of warning. If you're not listening to God, you're not forgiving, I promise you on that judgment day, you might be in danger. You may think, well, I'm saved, I'm going to heaven. You might be in danger if you get that hard of heart because you refuse to forgive someone that wronged you. This is a problem for a Christian. We all need to admit it. We need to search ourselves. And if you got anybody in your life that you say, well, I really haven't forgiven them, forgive them. And move on.
Forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself, forgive them. If they come back and do it again, forgive them all over again. Because it's not worth you being thrown into hell to not forgive them.
Well, and forgiveness is not really for them anyway.
It's not.
It's for you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they're living their lives and don't even know
Yeah.
that you're still angry or hurt or and it doesn't matter to them.
They have no clue. Yeah. Which means God's forgiveness is for him, not for us. We simply get to benefit from it.
If he didn't forgive us, he would just.
Because the point of forgiveness is to reconcile with somebody.
So you need to tell them.
So if you want that relationship with them, you can have it.
You have to tell them. You can tell them by your actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start inviting
There's a
them out,
lot of
you know.
people I have forgiven that I never openly forgave.
Right.
But you've allowed them back into
Yeah.
your life of some sort.
Yeah, I mean you can't
Not
you, know,
party
you
with
can't
them,
you cannot forgive someone and then go be mean and rude to them.
Right.
Right.
That's not forgiveness. If you see them, you can't say snide remarks and stick your nose up and walk
bad
away
about it.
and you know that's not forgiveness. I'm sorry.
No.
You're still holding on.
Right.
Forgiveness is letting go. Now, you don't have to stand there and best friend them.
Let it go.
You can be cordial, polite, and go about your business. And that's all you have to do. All right, we're going to stop there after 8. We'll pick up next week in Matthew 24. There's one parable there. And then we'll be out of Matthew.
Matthew 24.
Oh, no, we'll go to 20. Sorry.
Come on, make up my mind then.
Well, my things are not in order. Sorry. We're going to do 20, then 21, and then 22, and then 24 and 25.
You know, when you Google stuff, if you type in what you Google and then put in order,
What?
in order.
Well, I'm sorry. This guy did not do it. He just gave an overview of all the parables, each book, where they're at, what they are.
Kind of looks like the one I had, the printout.
Maybe.
Did
And
you
it's-
ever?
it's-
It's like it'll have the parable, then it'll have like
Yeah.
each book that it's in.
And it's not in order, so I'm sorry. We're going to 20 next week.
Did you ever find out, or did you ever get your pictures back of the stuff that you had notes of that disappeared?
No.
No, they're just gone. Apple ate them.
That cloud.
Hey, I removed them.
Kamala Harris used to talk about that cloud.
The cloud. They,
The cloud up
they
there.
went to the cloud up there and they're just gone.
Poof.
They may show back up one day. Who knows?
Yeah.
They could be in a different cloud, maybe. I've got, Apple Cloud. We got
Verizon
Google Cloud.
Cloud.
I don't know what cloud they went to, but one of them probably ate. Like I said, yeah, probably like, no, you don't need this.
You know, you think about it, those clouds is not a good idea because they do disappear. So
They do, yeah. But that's what we do nowadays.
You say 20? 20
20.
what?
I think
20.
it's the first one.
We're going to 21 through 16. And then we'll be going to Matthew 21, 28 through 32, and 33 through 44.
Oh, fart augers.
Okay.
I about pulled the wrong bookmark.
ooh,
So 20 and 21 probably next week. So you can go ahead and read those books, those chapters. You'll find the parables in there and you'll be ahead of the game. Anything else anybody wants to add?
I do want to add a little tidbit back on the 99 one.
Okay. Go for it.
So, was it you that said something about the 99 being jealous
Yes.
because he's rejoicing over the one and not the 99?
Not there, yeah.
But my thing
You
is,
didn't give me a party.
but my thing is, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
the 99.
The 99. The 99 are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, they know what to do.
Yeah, they're listening.
They're eating the grass
they're
every
being
year.
obedient,
They're
They're
not running off.
waiting.
Yeah.
It makes me think of gentle parenting.
Okay.
Why does the parent need to rejoice over the child for doing what they're supposed to be doing? I mean, proud of you, yeah, because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But there are a lot of parents out here that take it to the extreme
Uh-huh.
And reward them for doing what
for
they're
doing
told.
what they should have already
And I
been
think
doing.
that's the problem. We're used to getting rewarded for good behavior.
Participation.
And in
Participation
this
trophy, yeah.
case, the one participating in bad behavior is being rewarded
Because he came back.
because he came back.
Mm-hmm.
Not because he did bad behavior.
Because he came back.
So it is the prodigal son. Why don't I get the party? What the father say? Well, son, this is all yours anyway.
Right.
You can have the party anytime you want.
Mhm.
The 99 sheep need to understand that.
Mhm.
They have everything already.
Mhm.
They want to have a party, go have a party. The shepherd's not going to stop them.
Mm-hmm. As long as you don't lose your way.
As long as you don't lose your way. They have all the freedom they need to live the life they want to live. And that's the story of the prodigal son. That's what the father tried to tell the son that stayed home. Son, you already had everything.
You should be rejoicing.
You don't
that
have to
you're
wait
broken.
on me to give it to you.
Yeah, you're waiting on me to give it to you, but I've already given it to you. Because you stayed, I gave you everything. The other son, remember, got the inheritance, went off, spent it all,
Mhm.
and then had nothing. So he's coming back to be a servant. Because it's better to be a servant than to be homeless.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a problem I think we forget as Christians. We already have it all. If you're waiting to get your rewards from God, you're missing out because you've already got them. If you want to use them now, you can. So the son that stayed didn't know that. He didn't get that.
He didn't get the memo.
He thought, well, I got to wait for my father to die before I get everything.
Right.
No.
That's what kills me about most Christians. I will get my rewards in heaven. You can have them now.
You got them now.
Well, it makes it so
Get
bad.
'em.
We've got the best reward already. We're one with God.
Right.
Yes. But we get all the benefits of that.
Yes.
But for some reason, we don't think we should use them. We're
Because that's
afraid
being
to use them.
selfish.
It's wrong. It's not wrong.
Nah.
That's what the Bible teaches. I'm sorry. All right, we're going to close up. Scott's got bedtime. Dear Father, we are thankful for these lessons you've given us tonight, Lord. Help us to understand, to implement, so that we can live better lives, change lives, that we can be forgiving, and we can understand who you are and why you do what you do. And I pray, Lord, that none of us would be jealous of others, because we have everything from you. As part of your family, we have the inheritance that you provided already. And for those out there tonight, Lord, that really are waiting to die before they can participate in all the great benefits of being a child of God, correct them. Show them where this is wrong. That's not the way you planned it to work. It's not the way you've taught it to work. And Jesus said, I come to bring abundance now, not later. Later is going to be even better. If we can have abundance now, Lord, I can only imagine what later looks like and what we will experience. Well, I don't think our minds can even think about it. So we thank you. We thank you for everything, Lord. We thank you for the troubles and the triumphs. We thank you for the victories we've not even seen yet.
We came in tired.
And we thank you for your forgiveness that allows us to be here today in your presence, calling upon your name and listening to your voice speak. We praise you, we honor you. In the name of Jesus, amen. All right, guys, we'll see y'all Sunday morning.
Sunset.
Every broken heart to come and stand.